Hey everyone, it's Simon from Higher Plane Games with a review of Degrees of Separation. This game is available on PlayStation 4 as you see on your screen, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch and PC. This is a single player or two player cooperative experience where you play as Ember and Rhyme, or Fire and Ice, which is probably the best way to explain this game. It's a 2D environmental physics puzzle based experience. I was entranced with this game from the first trailer, and it was because of the way how they utilise this fire and ice elemental puzzle physics to really think out how puzzles should work with these two elements. So it might be that you're in a snowy world and you use the fire element to therefore melt all of the ice into water, which means that you can access caves underneath because you can go and effectively swim or go further down the level. Or it could mean that actually you need to ice up that water, so therefore you can stand on top of the ice instead of standing in the water and being submerged, which means that you can then access higher cliff edges so that you can actually like climb up. Or like early on examples is where you've got water mills spinning around, and then if you freeze the water the mill can't move, so then you've got steps that then go up. Because each of the fire and ice levels basically controls half the screen, or you can kind of shuffle it around depending on how you see fit. What I really liked is that actually the game gives you these set of tools, but you can almost part of the way like fudge your way through some of the levels. Some of the things and puzzles that I was getting through, I was like, was that really the answer? I'm not sure. And it felt like you could probably do things in multiple ways, but I'm never quite sure, because when you're kind of like flipping and jumping over each other, the whole fire and ice section of the screens, of which one's dedicated to each character, will flip and play with you. So it's almost like you're having to really think out, right, I need to go here, then move there, and then that will melt this, or set that on fire, or change the water level of something. And you're really having to think out about, right, this is how I'm going to go about doing things. And from that side of the game, along with the graphics, and I have to say actually the music as well, really, really captured my imagination. The story itself is told as you play the game, which I found quite interesting, because the game itself is it advertises itself as non-linear, but it is linear, but it's not at the same time, and I'll try and explain myself. So after the initial kind of like getting to know you section where you play as each character individually and then they join together essentially to then form this pattern of how the game will continue, you'll eventually end up in a castle, and the castle serves almost like a hub world which lets you go out into vast long levels out from there. But it's up to you as to how much of the level you really want to play with. So each level will have like say 60 odd scarves for you to collect, and think of a scarf as like successfully completing a puzzle. And some of those will be say above ground, some will be underneath ground, some will be off the beaten path, but actually quite a lot of them are optional. So if you're sitting there thinking, I'm trying to get this scarf and I just can't do it, has happened to me several times, I thought, you know what, I'll just move on, and you can kind of continue on. Some of the puzzles obviously you do have to do to try and get across the game, and in general those are the ones that introduce different types of game mechanics, whether that be a different type of platform. So say if you've got moving platforms with fans on, the fan won't spin so fast in the cooler conditions because it's cold and freezing up, so therefore the platform will fall. But then actually if you put it in the hot environment, then this fan will spin, the balloon will go up, and then it will rise the platform. Those kind of things. So it will introduce that in a level that you'll have to play, or like a puzzle that you'll have to play as part of this wider level. And then you'll have like 3 or 4 optional levels, of which you might need to do one to get through, but the other 2 are entirely up to you. And I really like that, and I quite like the way how the achievements and trophies are set out as well, because actually half of the achievements are just for getting through the game, but if you want to be a completist and complete all of the puzzles, then that's there for you as an optional achievement or trophy should you want to. As you're going through that, it's telling the story of the game as well. through your interactions with each other. One of the things that I really did appreciate with this game, which has been a problem quite often with co-op games that you can play in single player mode in the past, is that actually you can press a button and it will move both of the characters for you at the same time. I was on my Larry. This was released on Valentine's Day, and I'd have loved to have had a little co-op adventure with my co-op companion, but I was alone. So yeah, being able to hit a button and then move both of you across, it's just such an obvious quality of life feature that so many games don't have that are co-op related for a single person. Yay, thumbs up for that. And it's to the point actually where sometimes the AI will actually do proper jumps and get over stuff for you. So I really appreciated that. And yeah, I have to say, full disclaimer, I have not finished the game, but I'm sufficiently far enough through the game where I feel like I can say this is a game that I would recommend to people. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Sometimes I felt like I was fudging the puzzles rather than actually completing them with precision and prowess, but I didn't care because I was having a great time playing the game, experiencing the really bright, visceral visuals, good storytelling, and a lovely soundtrack to boot as well. So yeah, Degrees of Separation, out now. Thumbs up from me. Thanks for watching. Hope that was informative. Bye for now.
The sulfur vents ran hotter and fiercer beneath the surface.
This channel is just one of my many projects that cover games, music and film. If you enjoy any of these and would consider supporting me to develop further in the future, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/Satorimon. Thank you for your time and for watching the video.